Hi, this is a follow-up to the interview conducted today, January 18, 2010, on ESPN Outside the Lines. We were discussing Gaines Adams and Jeron Lewis. Both athletes lost to sudden cardiac arrest from suspected hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, both this past weekend and last week. So, in my previous follow-up, we discussed cardiac screenings in children and high school level athletics. I would like to take a moment to discuss in a bit more detail where we might be able to do better with collegiate and professional sports. Let's talk about college level sports for a moment. Unlike the general population of athlete in the high school or recreational level, collegiate athletes are going to rise to a whole different level. And frankly, it's a smaller population, and funding is a little bit more accessible for this subset population. It is completely reasonable to have a college look at a more comprehensive athletic screening program that gets away from looking at orthopedic issues solely and starts to look more at cardiac issues, such as looking at EKGs, echocardiograms, stress tests. It is completely reasonable for the PPE form to continue to be used up through the collegiate level. The American Heart Association has standards on this, and we fully support the AHA document. We want to look for family history, symptoms. We want to look for other conditions that might be problematic, such as hypertension. It's not just looking for hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. We're looking at a longer list of potential cardiac abnormalities. So doing a cardiac ECG, electrocardiogram, looks at the electric currents of the heart. It's an inexpensive test, it's non-invasive, and pretty readily available. In addition to that, echo screenings could be considered for this population of athlete, and it is being done at many college campuses around this country today. We have no systematic program to say this is what we should be doing for our collegiate level athletes within the United States of America in public and private schools. We don't have a document that says that. We have to trust that schools are going to do what is best for the student athlete. Saying that, what is best for the student athlete? These are children who have or young adults who have an opportunity to potentially get involved with professional sports later or choose career paths that better suit their cardiac status. This is an opportunity to ensure that we're not setting somebody up for failure in professional athletics. This is an opportunity to get them on the right path and get them their education. So I think we should be looking at global policies for ECG and echo screenings for our college level athletes on a very systematic basis. Now professionals. Whole other ball of wax. Pros, franchises, players associations, unions, agents, this is a much stickier situation. There's a lot of money on the line here. But without your life, does money really matter? Agents can go on to other clients. Teams can recruit other players. Franchises will exist. The Players Association will have other players. The fact that teams, agents, franchises, and whatever professional sports entity, be it NHL, NFL, baseball, you name it, the fact that they are allowing people to sign agreements that state, if I die in service to your organization, I hold you harmless. I'm sorry to say, but I think that is morally bankrupt. And any organization that permits that type of an agreement to be signed needs to seriously look at its morals and ethics. That is probably not even going to stand up in court, by the way. How can somebody agree to sign away their life? Did they truly understand and comprehend the potential risks? So we have a long way to go with just those agreements. Secondly, there is absolutely no excuse in the world that every professional athlete in the United States get a full cardiac evaluation ECG, echocardiogram, stress test, and cardiac MRI if need be. You guys have the funding. You have the need. This is a high-risk population. These people are pushing their bodies to the limits every day. And they're doing so for the profit of the franchises and the organizations in which they serve and the people for which they entertain. How does it look to put a professional athlete in front of the fans and let them die? That's what's being done in some cases. We can do better. We know that this is a complicated subject matter. And honestly, there's a lot of doctors out there who tell you that, yes, I can diagnose this, I'm okay to do this, I'm your team doc. I would caution all teams to make sure that they have an expert on retainer or access to an expert who can help them identify these cases. I've worked with over 4,600 families with HCM throughout the world. I can assure you the number of misdiagnoses from good doctors would astound you. You really need doctors who understand what HCM is and isn't, and how to understand how to read these echoes well. All due respect to the fine cardiologists of this country, but they're not all equal. You need somebody who really understands the nuances. So, to the franchises, to the teams, to the players, to the wives of the players, make sure you get your EKGs, echocardiograms, and a good cardiovascular workup with somebody who really understands this disease. To the players, it's not just about you, it's about your children. If you have HCM or other forms of genetic heart disease, you're putting your children at risk too. And first and foremost, before being a role model to anybody else in this country, shouldn't you be a good role model to your own child? And be here for them. So, I wish you all well. I look forward to working with many of you to help stop sudden cardiac arrest from HCM. And if there's anything you need further, please don't hesitate to call the HCMA. 973-983-7429. Thanks.